Alright, Schlockmeisters fans, we're going to watch the sequel to Blood Cult. John Wayne's son, Patrick. Let's watch Revenge. Our film begins right where Blood Cult left off.
Excuse me. Doc White, we got another one. This time it's the sheriff's daughter. And her boyfriend's in the dorm dead, too.
Oh, no. Oh, over there.
His name's Joe Hogan. Girls in the dorm say the sheriff's daughter did it.
This looks like the other ones. All chopped up.
Used a meat cleaver. Damn shame about the sheriff watching his daughter do something like this. Then she jumps off a building. He's lost his marbles.
Well, you can take this to the morgue, too. The killings.
A reporter.
Basically just what we've printed in the newspapers so far. A serial killer specializing in co-eds on campus.
What about the blood cult? What do you know about that?
I've heard rumors.
About what?
The cult. I've heard that golden amulets were found on each body of the sorority house victims, and that these amulets represent some sort of witch cult. Is that true? Nobody. I don't think. Do you think it's true? Oh, listen, up here on the right. This is my office. We're here.
Something seems,
Just past it.
amiss. K9
Problem? Anything wrong?
Cop pulls over to this guy who was on a motorcycle. No more reporter. On this remote farmhouse, Carlton Moore finds that in his barn. That's not good. This is even worse.
Damn. Carlton, you see anybody out there?
Damn. This stubby-looking fellow is Patrick Wayne, son of John.
Michael, it's good to see
He
you.
plays Michael Hogan. That's his sister.
You've lost some weight again, haven't you?
They're here to mourn their brother Joel, who died in the first film.
I'm sorry.
Here we got a couple of chicks in the woods camping. This one's not watching where she's going, which is why she stepped in a bear trap. Notice the knife that was about to strike her? She's dead. Moments later, her friend finds her. And for those of you who remember the cover of the VHS box, that's it.
Hell, I will.
Gracie Moore, the bigwigs in town, wanted to sell her farmhouse now that her husband's been killed.
You want me to leave my home?
No. Nobody wants you to do anything, Mrs. Moore. The members of the town council are simply concerned about you.
They want that property so they can perform their K9
We
rituals.
think it might be better for you if you move back into town.
Sister Liz goes to check the old house they used to live in.
Sir?
And apparently, whoever that is pulling the old Darth Vader chokehold on her. Apology accepted, Liz.
But confidentially, I think the sheriff was on to something.
Like what?
My hands are tied.
The sheriff's now in the nut house.
I just don't want this spread around. The sheriff gave me this list. I haven't had time to check it out. If you want to know what happened to your brother, that's a good place to start.
Who are these people?
Prominent citizens, most of them.
Anyway, that motorcycle man who killed the reporter in the beginning is now harassing Gracie. Patrick Wayne, Michael, goes to visit the sheriff From the first movie.
Well, boy, do you remember the night you lost your daughter?
Tina.
Yes, that's right, Tina.
She never should have listened to them, you know that.
Listen to who?
That's why she killed you, because of them.
No, Sheriff, she didn't kill me. She killed my brother Joel.
You weren't any good, but you didn't deserve that.
Sheriff,
Coming up,
I don't know what you mean.
those people and those dogs, they're bad. Watch out for him, honey. He's bad. Oh, God, he's bad.
Who's bad, Daddy? Who?
The doctor. And those dogs, they're bad.
And now we meet some of
I
those
would
prominent
call such
citizens.
growth very, very encouraging, especially in light of our poor economic climate.
That's because you don't have to worry about the logistics of it all. Do you realize that I've had to order more of these amulets and they're not easy to find? And at the rate of our recruitment, we're going to run short of monks' robes before the next initiation.
Use graduation gowns. The university should be loaded with them.
No. We're
Guess who else is in the
being too
office?
indiscriminate in our recruitment. We're not screening these people properly. What if someone talks?
We've got the sheriff's office covered. If someone talks, we just thank him for being a good citizen. Then, poof, his house burns down in the middle of the night.
John Kerry.
Another damn fool smoking in bed.
To just bow to our wishes. We've got to be flexible.
We have disposed of the biggest obstacle, the owner of the land. And his widow will be gone soon, too.
She must be off the land by tomorrow.
The doctor slipped this guy
Men
a
like
pill.
you who see only the world advancement
They didn't
we make
trust him.
possible. You are the abominations.
One of these tablets has an intriguing effect on the circulatory system. I've always been curious what two of them would do.
So Michael goes to visit Gracie, and Motorcycle Man comes back again.
Now listen, Buster. You get on out of here. I'm going to call the sheriff. Go on. I'm warning you.
Finally got a little hot chick action here.
It never takes me long to get undressed.
Oh, really? What was that?
I don't know.
So they get hot and heavy in the hot tub.
You might like.
Brutal. Amulets. Michael and Gracie find the headless body.
Look at this. Deputy said they found coins at all those murders.
Michael calls the doctor.
Why do you want to know?
It seems I'm interested in the same property for personal reasons. And the woman is ready to sell to me.
It's a ruse.
Why are you telling me this?
Gracie and Michael then go to the doc's house. Robes, dogs,
Hey, look at this.
amulets.
You're right.
Let's see what else we can find around here.
Its followers that if they offered a human sacrifice to him, a sacrifice out of a body made of the most perfect parts of several humans, they could achieve power, perhaps immortality through resurrection.
Than ourselves.
Ourselves? This is bigger than us.
Well, I know it's big.
They found the
We don't know
ritual
what we're up
location on her
against.
property.
You're forgetting your upbringing. Folks out here learn to fend for themselves. Get ready.
First thing they do is set a trap for Motorcycle Man, and they clothesline him.
From each of the souls given our master, the juice of life. us begin. Let us partake together of the juice of life.
And here we go, K9S, or whatever the hell this thing is coming to life. It's a mushy mess, but it's alive. The Gracie and Michael attack.
Defied the master K9ers. Do not run. Stop. Come.
Doc, I'm warning you. Now don't, Doc. Don't, please. No. Doc. What did he mean?
And now some truth is going to come out.
You will see.
Michael may not be everything we thought he was.
You know it was unavoidable. He lacked patience, Michael. He was too eager. His tactics had to be stopped.
It cost the life of my brother, and now you have my sister. But the debt to...
So Michael is part of the death cult.
Oh.
That's our film. All right, let's talk about Revenge, the further adventures of K9S. It's a movie that I taped, and I had it on a beta tape that I got back in the 80s. I rented it from TNR Video, a store I eventually ended up working for in Two Rivers, Wisconsin. It's long gone now. Revenge is a sequel to Blood Cult, which is not something I knew at the time. Now, I think if you watch my review from Blood Cult from a couple days ago, I mentioned that we saw Blood Cult in a United Home Video catalog and really wanted to pool our allowance money together to buy that up. Never did, though, and didn't see that movie until years later. I had no clue that this was a sequel to that, and it obviously is. It's a direct sequel. The movie picks up literally right where the other one left off. The girl fell from the scaffolding, and then the sheriff was right there. The sheriff's is the girl's father. And so we see the girl dead on the ground, and the sheriff, we learn, has been put into a mental institution. We don't show him right away, so I was under the impression that we weren't going to see him. They just talked about him, but no. Later on, he does show up in this movie in a nut house, and he's in a straitjacket and such. So anyway, after that initial scene, it fast forwards 2 months later, and this cult of K9S, this blood cult, is still butchering people, killing people, trying to collect body parts for a sacrifice. A couple of decent gore scenes in this movie, especially that beheading that took place in the hot tub. Now, the head didn't look all that real, but there was a lot of blood in that scene. Also, like Blood Cult, no nudity in this movie, just plenty of gore. Now, this one also has a couple of known actors, I should say. Patrick Wayne stars as Michael Hogan, and he was the brother of Joel, the boyfriend who died in the first film. He is John Wayne's son and did a lot of movies. Never got a whole lot of fame, but he had a pretty decent career. He's been out of acting for about 20 years now. He's almost 80 years old, but still alive. And John Carradine, of all people, shows up in this movie as well. Now, John Carradine, if you look on IMDb, has 351 entries for acting roles. He's done a lot. And this was his 8th from the last. So this was near the end of his career, near the end of his life. He died a couple years later, actually. They propped him up, and he did his job, and he did it fine. So there you go. A bunch of cult-worshipping people who worship K9S, and there's never anything really resolved at the end. It looks like K9S is alive and well and ready for Blood Cult 3, which hasn't happened. So anyway, directed by Christopher Lewis, the same guy who did Blood Cult. He also did The Ripper. A lot of the same cast members were in all 3 of these movies. This was filmed in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area, and that's pretty much it. So you can get this DVD. It's available from, who put this one out? I don't know who put this out. VCI. VCI is the same people who did the United Home Video catalog back in the 80s. And so there you go. So check it out. Let me know what you think about it. If you want this DVD, I think it's probably pretty cheap, $10-12 or so. And let me know what you think about it. Leave some comments down below. We'll talk about it. It's called Revenge, the sequel to Blood Cult. Watch it. Bye. Not a bad film.